This is Deborah Baker with Trusted CISO. Welcome to my video course on cyber resilience. In this module, we will cover Chapter 4, Security and Risk Management of my new book, CISO Guide to Cyber Resilience. You can buy it on Amazon. This chapter is essential as it discusses how to balance cyber risks, implement controls, and manage the security budget effectively. Security and risk management involves identifying, evaluating, and addressing potential threats to an organization's information asset. It is the process of balancing cyber risks with appropriate controls and ensuring these measures fit within the organization's budget and risk tolerance. And sometimes there are certain risks that you just have to accept, and you don't actually put in a specific mitigation. Accepting the risk is the responsibility of executive management, and we'll be getting more into that later in the course. Why is risk management important? First, it ensures business continuity by protecting against disruptions caused by cyber threats. Second, it helps organizations meet legal and regulatory requirements. Third, it ensures efficient resource allocation by prioritizing risks and controls. Lastly, effective risk management enhances overall security and resilience. So you can't do everything. You also can't have 0% risk. So you could actually invest in every single product on the market, have it, implemented, spend all this money, and then one person in your company goes to a website they're not supposed to and downloads malware. And for some reason, it's a 0 day and your endpoint detection and response doesn't realize, doesn't alert. So, there's so many little scenarios. So there's always going to be risk to your organization, and prioritizing it's key. And so you have to prioritize your budget with the risk. So when it comes to risk management, there are several critical components that form the foundation of an effective strategy. First, we have risk identification. This step involves recognizing potential threats and vulnerabilities that could impact your organization. It's about being proactive in identifying what could go wrong before it actually does. Next is risk assessment. Once potential risks are identified, it's essential to evaluate the likelihood of these risks occurring and the potential impact they could have on your organization. This helps prioritize which risks need immediate attention. Then we move on to risk mitigation. This involves implementing controls and measures to minimize the identified risks. The goal here is to reduce the probability of these risks materializing and to lessen their impact if they do occur. Finally, we have continuous monitoring. Risk management isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing process. Regularly reviewing and updating your risk management practices is crucial to adapt to new threats and changes in the environment. This ensures that your risk management strategy remains effective over time. By incorporating these key components, risk identification, assessment, mitigation, and continuous monitoring into your risk management framework, you can better protect your organization from potential threats and ensure long-term stability and resilience. Identifying risks involves understanding the sources of potential threats, such as cyber attacks, natural disasters, human error, and internal misconduct. Conducting a business impact assessment helps analyze the potential effects of these risks on business operations. Maintaining a risk register to document identified risks and their mitigation strategies is a best practice. And sometimes, like I said, the executive management team will just accept a risk. There won't be a specific mitigation. Risk mitigation strategies include preventative controls, measures to prevent incidents such as firewalls and antivirus software, detective controls, measures to detect incidents such as intrusion detection systems, IPS, intrusion prevention systems, and SIEM. Corrective controls, measures to correct incidents such as incident response response plans, implementing these controls helps minimize the likelihood and impact of risk. Balancing risk and budget is crucial for effective risk management. This involves prioritizing risks based on their impact and likelihood, conducting a cost-benefit analysis to evaluate the cost of controls against the potential impact of risk, and determining the organization's risk appetite, or the level of risk the organization is willing to accept. Now, typically, I work with smaller companies, small and medium-sized businesses, so we don't do a separate cost-benefit analysis, but executive management does have a set budget, and that is taken into account when we identify the risks and the mitigations that will be taken, and then what risks are going to be accepted. And that, again, those decisions are done by the executive management. Your job as CISO is to inform executive management of the actual risks that exist and the resources and budget that's needed in order to address these risks effectively. When developing a risk management strategy, it's important to recognize that organizations can operate at different levels of maturity. These levels range from basic to advanced, each with specific practices and goals. Let's start with the basic level. At this stage, the focus is on aligning risk management activities with the available budget. It's crucial to conduct an asset inventory to understand what needs protection and classifying those assets. Identifying and tracking risks at this stage helps in laying the foundation for a more structured approach to risk management. Moving up to the medium level, management coordination becomes essential. This involves ensuring that risk management efforts are supported and coordinated across different departments. It's also important to report identified risks up the chain of command, ensuring that leadership is aware of potential threat. At this stage, defining the most critical assets is key to prioritizing risk management efforts effectively. Finally, at the advanced level, the focus shifts to using key performance indicators to measure the effectiveness of risk management activities. Continuous monitoring of these KPIs ensures that the organization can respond proactively to emerging threats. Advanced risk management practices involve sophisticated tools and techniques to maintain a high level of security and resilience. By understanding and implementing practices at these different levels, basic, medium, and advanced, organizations can systematically improve their risk management capabilities, starting with budget alignment and asset inventory, progressing through management coordination and critical asset definition, and ultimately achieving advanced monitoring and KPI tracking. This ensures a comprehensive approach to managing and mitigating risks. Don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, CISO Guide to Cyber Resilience. I go into more details about monitoring and reviewing controls. What are KPIs to use? Communicating the true risks the company faces to senior leadership is critical for proper budget and resources to be allocated to mitigate your company's. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more cybersecurity tips and cyber resilience guidance.